Margie, I don't want to hear it.
Well, listen anyway. Margie, no, no, no. I won't let you work in Mr. Honeywell's office. Of all the idiotic scatterbrain things I've ever heard of, absolutely and positively no, and that's final. See? I didn't miss a word.
Good. Then you know the answer.
For the first time in a year, Mr. Honeywell has room for a new secretary, but your daughter isn't good enough. I've brushed up on my shorthand, and I can type, too. Have a look at that.
Oh, swell. We'll call you the first time we have need of a quick brown fox to jump over a lazy dog.
I'm going to put a sign on my back. Vern Albright, unfair to organized daughters, and parade up and down in front of your office.
Look, baby, I'd love to see you get a job, but I can't have you working for Honeywell and Todd.
Why not?
Because I have enough trouble with Mr. Honeywell as it is without his griping at me about your stenographic deficiencies.
What deficiencies?
Look at the way you type. It would take you all day to get out a simple letter.
You don't love your own daughter.
Goodbye, honey. I'll see you tomorrow when I get back from Philadelphia.
Okay, Pappy, but listen to this. I'll go over your head. I'll go directly to Mr. Honeywell.
Now, you listen to this. I'm still your father, and in spite of your age, I forbid you to go to Mr. Honeywell.
I'm not scared.
If you go to Mr. Honeywell, you don't go to Paris with me next summer.
Now I'm scared.
I'll see you tomorrow. Now, behave yourself.
Oh, trouble with the Albrights. What is it, honey? Maybe we can work something out.
Mind your own... good morning, Mrs. Odetts.
Tell me, honey, what's he told you not to do that you're going to do anyway?
He says if I go to Mr. Honeywell for a job, he won't take me to Paris next year.
Oh, well, that's different. I don't blame if you wanted to go to Paris. That's where I met the first great love of my life.
A handsome young Frenchman?
Yes. His name was Pierre Smith, and my name was Fifi Odetts. Oh, were we a couple of crazy, mixed-up, phony American tourists?
I'll see you later, Fifi. Arlington Arms, 14B. Just a moment, please. Oh, hello, Miss Albright. How do you know my name? I just arrived in town this morning, and I don't recollect ever meeting you down home in Memphis. Memphis? That's right. I'm Clementine Albright, and I'm looking for a distant cousin of my daddy's, a Mr. Vern Albright. Oh, well, for a moment I thought you were his daughter. You look so much like her. They're on the 10th floor. I'll announce you. Never mind that, honey. My name wouldn't mean anything to him anyway. He's never even seen little old me. Besides, I'd rather surprise him. You'll surprise him, all right.
You almost fooled me for a second. What's the caper?
I beg your pardon, ma'am?
Oh, cut it out, Margie. You can tell me. What are you up to?
I'm afraid I don't understand, ma'am. I'm looking for the Albright apartment.
If you don't want to let me in on it, all right. But stop pulling my leg. You know perfectly well you live right in there.
Yes? Pardon me, I'm looking for Mr. Vern Albright.
Oh, dear. Only 83 and I popped my cork.
Don't mind her. I don't understand half the things she... Hey, maybe I should join Mrs. Odetts. Do I look familiar to you? Goodness. Are you a relation to Uncle Vern, too? Uncle Vern. He's my father. Who are you? I'm Clementine Albright. My part of the family's kind of far removed. Lost contact and all that, but a long-lost cousin. I'm Margie, Clementine. Come on in. Bill and I were to be married this week, but he's so independent and stubborn, wants everything his way. Anyway, we had a big argument, and here I am. I'm going to be independent, too. I don't need any man to support me. You're an Albright, sure enough. Dad's in Philadelphia till tomorrow, Clementine. What did you want him to do for you? I thought maybe Uncle Vern could help me get a job. I don't like to ask favors, but Don't be silly. Your Uncle Vern's a wonderful guy. What kind of a job are you looking for? Well, I'd like to be a girl executive, but I'll settle for just plain old typing and shorthand. Hey, you may not have to wait for my father. His boss, Mr. Honeywell, needs a secretary right now. And Dad didn't say I couldn't go to Mr. Honeywell for my cousin. I don't understand. Don't bother. It's a long Albright story. I may have to resort to dramatic sobbing and tears, but I'll get the job for you. You're an Albright, sure enough.
Albright. Welcome back, Albright. And have I got a surprise for you?
Oh, no kidding. You're going to retire and make me president.
Don't be ridiculous, Albright. When I retire, I'm going to find a worthless young nephew to be president and make your life miserable.
Oh, very humorous. Now, what's the surprise?
I hired her, my boy. She's now my secretary.
I told her not to ask you for a job.
She didn't ask me.
She didn't ask you? Well, then who did ask you?
Margie asked me.
Margie didn't ask you, yet she did ask you. Mr. Honeywell, are you getting soft-headed?
What's your language, Albright? You can be replaced by an electronic computer.
Mr. Honeywell, did you or did you not hire Margie?
No, I hired your niece, Clementine.
My niece, Clementine?
A distant relative from Memphis. Come on, Albright, to see the family resemblance.
Clementine? Mr. Honeywell, you've been taken.
What are you talking about?
You said family resemblance. Have you ever seen such a strong family resemblance?
You think that's Margie?
I told Margie she couldn't work here for many different reasons, among which she wasn't ready. And now she digs up this phony masquerade to prove that she's capable.
I should have known. You can tell those glasses she's wearing are nothing but plain window glass.
And that blonde hair's nothing but a wig.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you were on your toes. She didn't fool me for 1 second.
I'm sure she didn't. Now, what are you going to do with a girl like that?
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get her out of this office before she ruins something her father didn't manage to ruin.
Now, hold it.
What do you mean, hold it?
For my peace of mind and the sake of the office, we can't tell her we're wise.
Why can't we?
Because she'd go to the ends of the earth to prove that she was capable of being a secretary. We've got to make her call it quits herself.
I get it. We make it tough for her. She admits the hoax and we're rid of her.
Right. Now call her in here and introduce her to her dear Uncle Vern, and we'll give her some special dictation.
It's all right. Would you come in for a minute and bring your notebook? Clementine, I want you to meet your Uncle Vern.
Uncle Vern.
Hello, Clementine. I want you to know how happy I am to have you with us.
Oh, thanks, Uncle Vern. Oh, you and Mr. Honeywell are so nice. And my cousin Margie. She's a peach.
Sit down, Clementine. In just a second, we'll give you a little dictation. But first, tell me about the folks down in Memphis. Frankly, I wasn't aware that I had any relatives down south.
Well, I'm Harry Albright's daughter. He's your 5th cousin, once removed. Dad said he visited your folks once when you were kids.
Harry? Oh, yes, of course, Harry. I remember as if it were yesterday. Well, we'll chat about our relatives later, but right now, Mr. Honeywell and I want to give you a little dictation.
Just one of our routine letters.
I'm ready.
Mr. Ed Whitlock, 1342 Jerome Street, Philadelphia, Zone 40, Pennsylvania. Dear Ed, regarding the Sloan account, be advised that we are no longer interested.
And furthermore, cancel the Apperson deal immediately.
We will advise you regarding the Pierpont investments as soon as possible. Signed, Vern and Albright for Honeywell Todd.
Anything else?
No, Clementine. I think that will do the trick.
Miss Albright, get that off right away. Type it immediately, huh?
Yes, sir. I must say you gentlemen dictate faster than anybody I ever heard before.
Did you see her pretending to get every word?
I bet she never got any further than Philadelphia Zone 40.
You've got to give her credit, Mr. Honeywell. That's a pretty good disguise. In about 15 seconds, Clementine Albright, alias Margie Albright, will be in here with a sad look on her face and some blank paper and admit everything. Oh, Uncle Vern, you and Mr. Honeywell are so nice.
And Cousin Margie's a peach.
I'm a little rusty, but I think I got all of it.
Every single word, just as we dictated it.
Every word, Albright?
Yes, and no misspelling.
Anything else?
No, Clementine. That will be all.
How did she do it?
I don't know. How can a girl type that fast when only yesterday she couldn't type at all? All right, so she boned up enough to take a letter. But I still don't want little Miss Mix-Up meddling in our business.
I'm going to get rid of her the way I started to in the first place.
Now, Mr. Honeywell, wait.
Wait, my Aunt Catherine.
All right, let the girl make a sap out of you.
She didn't make a sap out of me. I guess she did at that. What's your idea?
Well, we can let her think she's getting away with it. Then tonight, when she comes home from work, we'll be waiting there.
I see. We'll needle her until she breaks down.
Right.
Nobody can make a sap out of George Honeywell. It's going to do me good to watch her squirm.
We'll show her.
When I'm behaving and my father thinks I'm not, I've got a right to get even. Oh, and don't forget the phone call. That really ought to confuse them.
And right now, she's probably dashing wildly out of the office trying to get home. And when she gets here, she'll probably have some fantastic excuse as to where she's been and why dinner isn't ready.
This is going to be good.
Oh, I just love to watch this.
I'll give you a full report.
Sit down, Mr. Honeywell. Here she comes now.
Running just like you said.
Oh, Dad! Sorry I'm late. Hi, Mr. Honeywell. What are you looking at me like that for?
Just marveling how two girls can look so much alike. You and Clementine, I mean.
Oh, then you've met her. Isn't she nice? Yeah, she does sort of resemble me, doesn't she?
A little too much, if you ask me.
Margie, when are you going to realize that you can't make silly fools out of Mr. Honeywell and me?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll get it. Hello?
You do all the talking. I'm just here for effect.
Oh, hi, Clementine. Okay, Clementine, got it. Hotel Lawton. We'll get together as soon as possible. Oh, I'm glad you like your job. Bye. I don't know what's gotten into you two. You sure are acting funny. Well, I better dash down to the delicatessen and get something for dinner.
She's even got the phone bluffing for her.
Just a minute. Hello, desk. Get me the Hotel Lawton. Right. 2 bits says that she had someone make that call for her just to confuse us. Hello, Hotel Lawton. Do you have a Miss Clementine Albright registered there? Oh, you haven't? Well, thanks anyway.
All right, I gotta hand it to you. You sure figured that right.
Mr. Honeywell, it's a known fact that the same person can't be in 2 places at the same time, right?
I like the sound of this before I hear it. What is it?
All right. Tomorrow morning, I'll tell Margie that I'm bringing you home for lunch.
You do that lots of times.
Well, don't you get it? If we keep Clementine busy at the office right up to the time we leave, how can she be here preparing lunch for us?
All right, you're certainly sharp today. We'll teach her not to kid around with us.
You think she'll go along with it? She might lose her job.
Don't worry, she's an Albright. No Albright could pass up a wonderful gag like this.
An Albright gag almost got me into solitary more than once.
Hello? Hi, Clementine. This is Margie. I want to ask you to do me a favor. Anything, honey, anything at all. I'm so excited. I just got a telegram from Bill. He's coming tomorrow night. He's apologized. We're going to be married. I'm just dreading telling your daddy and Mr. Honeywell, but I'm quitting my job right away. Honey, sit yourself down and listen. You can at least keep your job till tomorrow. It's a complicated story, but I'm going to give you every detail. I want you to help me keep a male Albright from getting the upper hand over a girl Albright. What do you say? What do you think? I'm a girl Albright. Let's hear it.
1 minute to 12. Everything set?
Yes, the cab is waiting and the driver knows every traffic policeman in town. We'll be there before Clementine can get down in the lobby.
It's all right.
Yes, Miss Honeywell?
Mr. Albright and I are going over to his place for lunch.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, and Margie promised to have it all ready for us the second we arrived.
Oh, well, you won't need me, so I'll run out to lunch myself.
Clementine, you better finish that filing for me before you go.
Yes, Uncle Vern. Bye.
Come on.
Thanks, Clementine. They're on their way.
Margie, aren't you afraid you've overplayed your hand? They'll have to know something's up when they find you here.
Yes, I know. But just about when they're deciding Clementine is real, they'll find proof that she isn't.
Proof?
Uh-huh. Just at the right moment, they'll find these. Hey, you'd better be on your way. They'll be here any minute.
Now, we'll just sit here until she comes in.
Hi, Dad. Mr. Honeywell. I've got tomato juice, onion soup, a nice green salad, and sirloin tips. Come and get it.
It's impossible.
Then there is a Clementine Albright.
Harry Albright. Harry, look. But how did she get here ahead of us?
I don't know. I thought that was a post office helicopter that passed us on the way.
Mr. Honeywell, this is war. We've got to break her down. I've got it. Come on out on the terrace where it's safe to talk.
All right, Margie. I'm sure glad you warned me ahead. Oh, one more thing. They should be really panting when they reach the office. They left here on a dead run, trying to beat me back, I guess. Right. Bye.
Oh, you're back from lunch already. I finished your filing, Uncle Vern.
How does she do it?
I wish I knew. There ought to be money in a thing like this.
We'll find out how she does it after we get her on the hook. Now, this is your big moment. All you've got to do is play it straight.
This is pretty drastic, Albright.
Don't worry. She'll break down and confess everything before you get half started. Or do you want her to have the last laugh?
Nobody gets the last laugh on George Honeywell. Let's go.
Clementine, may I be the first to congratulate you?
Congratulate me?
Yes, and as your uncle, I want you to know I mean this sincerely. Blessings, my child.
But I don't understand.
Tell her, Mr. Honeywell.
Clementine, my dear, I know there's a vast difference in our ages, but ever since you walked into my office, I've had it here.
Indigestion.
No, my dear, love.
Love.
The kind that starts at the soles of your shoes and works its way right up and pops out of your collar.
Ask her, Mr. Honeywell. Ask her the question.
Clementine, darling, will you marry me?
Oh, Mr. Honeywell, just what I've always dreamed of. Man, a sweet old millionaire, I could be mother and wife, too. I accept.
Clementine, you didn't let him finish. He was going to say that we'd all meet up to my place, and then you two would elope to Maryland. Doesn't that change your mind?
Oh, no, it's wonderful. Let's make it 7 o'clock. Mrs. George Honeywell.
Congratulations.
You old darling. Oh, you old darling, you.
Hi, Clementine. Your bill.
Hiya, Margie.
Come in.
I've told him all about you, and about everything else, too. Are you willing to help us?
Sure, sounds like fun.
Swell. Dad, Mr. Honeywell ought to be here any minute. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Let's get one thing straight, Albright. If I wind up tonight, as I usually do, with one of your wild schemes...
I know. I'm fired. Now, listen, Mr. Honeywell, this is absolutely foolproof. When we walk in there and Margie thinks that you're actually going through with it, come on, I can't wait to see the fun. Oh, Margie, Clementine.
George, oh, darling, I've been on pins and needles waiting for you.
Where's Margie, Clementine?
Well, she's in her room sort of freshening up for the drive to Maryland.
Oh, in her room, Yes, I rather thought she'd be there.
Well, I'll go hurry her up. Just imagine, little old me is going to be Miss George T. Honeywell.
Oh, stop worrying. She's going to make it look good by coming back as Margie. Now, you wait and see.
Now, you know what to do.
What do you want to do? Call it off and give her the last laugh?
No, I've seen it this far. I'll see it to the end.
Hi, honey. Been in your room all this time?
Well, I wanted to look nice for the wedding.
Congratulations, Mr. Honeywell.
Golly, wouldn't it be awful if Clementine changed her mind?
Dreadful.
Do you think she might change her mind, dear?
Well, of course not. She thinks Mr. Honeywell's wonderful. Oh, I'll get it.
What'd I tell you? She'll play it until we're ready to walk out the door.
I'd like to speak with Mr. George Honeywell.
Certainly. Come in. This gentleman wants to see you, Mr. Honeywell.
Yes, what is it?
So I was formerly Clementine Albright's fiancé, but today she told me she was marrying you tonight. I love that little gal more than I can tell. So I'm here to make sure there's no misunderstandings. I'm here to make sure that you'll marry my little Clementine, and I can become a very violent man.
Don't look so frightened or you'll give the whole thing away. Can't you see what they've done? They've brought this ham in to make it look like the real thing. Now, I'll show you how to blow them sky high. My friend, Mr. Honeywell, wishes me to assure you that he has every intention of marrying Clementine.
Splendid. Then we won't have any bloodshed.
Margie, dear.
Yes, Dad?
Suppose we get Clementine in here so that we can get started off for Maryland.
Okay, Dad, I'll go get her.
Wait.
Yes?
We want you to call Clementine.
Call her?
Yes, stay right here and call her. Come on, honey, call Clementine.
Yeah, why don't you call her, Margie?
Oh, well, maybe she's busy. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she left.
Don't be silly. I'll tell you what. I'll call her. Clementine! Clementine!
Coming, Uncle Vern.
Well, what do you say, Dad? Let's all go to Maryland so Clementine and Bill can get married as scheduled.
You mean?
That's right, Mr. Albright.
We're really eloping.
You see? Everything worked out okay after all. Mr. Honeywell, where are you going?
With one of them, I had a chance. But with two of them in the world, I'm heading for the hills.
So I made a little mistake.
You see? Even when I behave myself.
I end up in the soup. Well, that's my little Margie.